What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the Eagle Eye in the Sky. I'm Fran Duffy, and today we're going to take a look back at the Eagles' loss to the Arizona Cardinals out in the desert on Sunday afternoon, Week 15. Now, we're going to start off with the performance of Jalen Hurts, and I thought in this game we saw some really good things from the rookie quarterback. Last week against New Orleans, I thought the Eagles really catered the game plan to his skill set, his first start against one of the top defenses in the NFL. We saw a lot of screens, a lot of moving the pocket. This game, it was a little bit different. They let him make some throws from the pocket, and we saw some really impressive anticipation throws, especially outside the numbers from Jalen Hurts in this game. Let's get into the breakdown and show you what I mean. One aspect of Jalen Hurts' game that really stood out to me on Sunday was his anticipation and his trust in his receivers. Watch here on this play. This is early in the game. Cardinals are in cover 3. He's got to beat that buzz defender underneath. Watch how quickly he's getting the ball out to Jalen Reagor on this speed out route at the sticks for a first down. Nice ball there from Jalen Reagor getting the ball out early. A little bit later, this time against cover 1, still single high, but man coverage. He's got to get this ball to Dallas Goedert, who does a nice job of reducing the route and coming back to the ball, but Hurts put the ball out on time, in rhythm, and they're able to convert, move the chains. A little bit later, this one, fourth down here. The Cardinals in two-man coverage with a spy. Look how early Jalen Hurts getting the ball out to Travis Fulgham on a little stop route. Again, moving the chains. So staying in rhythm, making these throws outside the numbers from the opposite hash oftentimes. You see here, third and very long. The ball is out very early to Alshon Jeffrey on the deep out route for a first down. Huge play to get the Eagles into scoring range. Another one, a double move at the bottom of the screen this time. Little blaze out from Travis Fulgham. Look, the ball's about to be released. Fulgham has not come out of his break yet. He puts the ball outside the numbers for another first down. However, working in the middle of the field late. This is a red zone sack that Jalen Hurts is going to take here. The middle linebacker opens up to the three receiver side. In rhythm, you'd like this to go to the in-breaker to Alshon Jeffrey. He hesitates on the throw, doesn't pull the trigger, ends up taking the sack. They get sacked on the next play, and they end up not getting points on that red zone drive. Still some things that he's got to work on, but some good stuff overall from Jalen Hurts in this game, especially throwing with anticipation. Great stuff there from Jalen Hurts, and again, some room to grow there from the rookie quarterback. Certainly some things he's going to have to work on moving forward, but loved the good flashes we saw on a bunch of those throws. Now, that being said, we still saw plenty of Jalen being able to extend plays, making plays outside of structure. That's going to be a strength of his game when he's in the ball game as the starter, because he's going to make those plays with his legs, sometimes as a runner, sometimes as a thrower. Some of the best plays in this game were examples of both. Let's take a look. Another aspect of Jalen Hurts' game that we know about is his ability to scramble, extend plays, make plays with his feet. This is fourth down. You're going to see him take off here as things kind of break down in front of him. He sees a lot of green grass. The Cardinals choose not to spy, and he moves the chains with his legs. Great job there. First and goal inside the 10-yard line. Same exact thing, right? It's a five-man pressure, no spy, just a safety in the middle of the field. He takes the grass that he feels belongs to him, powers through the tackle attempt, and gets into the end zone. Just an awesome touchdown run from Jalen Hurts, and that ability to extend those plays big time in those situations. But it's not just with running the football, it's also extending plays to throw. And here on this one, you can see the receiver kind of falls down. He goes to break the pocket, drops the ball. Love this, that he's able to maintain that calm, maintain that poise, keeps his eyes downfield, escapes pressure, hits Dallas Goedert. This was late in the game, 2-minute scenario here, and the Eagles move the chains. Just awesome stuff there from Jalen Hurts. One thing that's really apparent early on through two starts is that Jalen Hurts has a really nice connection with Greg Ward. The guys are both from the Houston area. They've got that bond, they've got that connection, and he clearly trusts Greg Ward, whether it's on third down or down in the red zone. It resulted in a couple of touchdown catches down near the goal line for Greg Ward. Let's break those two plays down. Let's take a look at the two touchdown catches by Greg Ward down in the red zone. First one, fourth and goal, comes out of 12 personnel. One running back, two tight ends, two receivers, and they're both matched against corners to the left-hand side, to the field. Now, after the pre-snap motion, you're going to get Jalen Hurts on a sprint out to the left with the hope to hit Greg Ward at the pylon. Again, fourth and goal here. But he's got to turn upfield, a little bit of a scramble drill situation. Jalen Hurts, with that anticipation we talked about earlier, pulls the trigger, hits Greg Ward for the touchdown. A little bit later in the game, this time third and goal. You're not going to get the same personnel. It's 11 personnel, 3 receivers out against 3 corners. This one's a simple high-low combination where you're going to get a corner route and a flat route from the 2 receivers. Greg Ward runs away from the man coverage nickel corner, gets both feet down, gets the touchdown. Outstanding job by both Jalen Hurts and Greg Ward on both of these plays. These guys are on the same page, got together for a couple of big-time plays in this game. Next, I want to take a look at the creative scheming by the Eagles coaching staff, and namely with the run game. That's really, I love studying the run game for this Eagles offense and all the different things that they do off of simple, basic concepts. That's really where they are the most multiple, the most versatile. And we talked about some of their triple option looks last week against New Orleans. This week, they did a lot off their basic split zone run. That's one of their staples. It has been for a handful of years now. I'm going to show you a split zone run, what that looks like, and then all the complements they ran off of that. Let's take a look at a handful of plays here. One of the Eagles' staple runs has always been split flow zone, where you're going to get zone blocking up front with a tight end coming from the backside to get that backside defensive end. That's going to help create a crease. You get some holes up front, and Miles Sanders able to plunge forward for a first down. That's been a staple run for the Eagles. But in this game, I thought they added some good wrinkles off of that split zone flow action. Again, zone blocking from the offensive line. Here comes the tight end to block the backside defensive end. Or is he? Because watch what happens here. Off the mesh point, Jalen Hurts is actually reading that defensive end. Goddard's not going to block him. Goddard's actually leaking up to the second level, but that defensive end still had to kind of chatter his feet, expecting Goddard to block him. Hurts keeps the ball and runs forward for a first down. This one's a little bit earlier in the game. Same kind of idea, right? Under center, here comes the split zone action again. You've got offensive line going left, the tight end's going to the right. He's going to block that backside defensive end. The difference here, you've got that orbit motion from a tight split wide receiver. Watch what that does to number 48, the linebacker on the backside. He is held. That helps create an even wider crease. You've got good double teams up front. Miles Sanders able to plunge forward. Really good blocking, really good design. Same thing a little bit later. This was on the very next drive. You're going to get blocking to the left. You're going to get the tight end working to the right. You're going to get that same orbit motion, right? So you're making all of these things look the same, except this time, off of the orbit action, you're going to throw a little bit of a screenplay. And this goes 26 yards to the left-hand side for Miles Sanders. You got a bunch of white jerseys out in front. Really good design from the Eagles coaching staff. Complementary plays that build off of each other. It's a layered offensive attack. Really, really like what they did off the split zone flow stuff in this game. Similar kind of play a little bit later. This one didn't work, right? Where you're going to go blocking right, tight end's working left. Here comes the orbit motion. This time they're going to give it to Jalen Reagor, but the defensive end, Marcus Golden, he read this the whole way. He gets the TFL in the backfield. Yeah, we might be saying at the time, oh, what were they thinking with that play call? But it all rolls together with what we saw from all those other plays. This one just happened to not hit, but really good stuff from the Eagles in this game of really kind of putting together the complement off split flow zone. Awesome stuff there from the Eagles coaching staff. Well executed and really good design there, obviously, from the guys who put the game plan together. You talk about Jeff Statland, Deuce Staley, that whole group. Now, let's go to the offensive line, because you can't talk about the run game without talking about the big uglies up front. To me, one of the things that stood out watching the film, the offensive line really was able to move the defensive tackles for the Arizona defense. I thought there were some really good double teams at the point of attack, whether they were the play side double teams or on the backside. A couple good examples here in this cut. When you talk about the zone run game, it's all about getting vertical displacement up front. Those double teams have got to move those defensive linemen. And in this game, I thought the Eagles offensive line did a great job of that. Look at these two double teams. This is first quarter. You got backside double team on the ground. Play side, you're up to the linebacker. You're springing Miles Sanders forward for a first down. Later in the game, another shotgun run, zone scheme. You're going to get play side double team. Jason Kelce and Nate Herbig. Look at the displacement here on the nose tackle. Completely uproot him, move him off his spot. You've got Jordan Mailata getting a guy to the ground on the backside. Matt Pryor fighting through it on the front side. Another example here a little bit later in the game. Again, another shotgun run. Both double teams on this one. Jordan Mailata, Isaac Seumalo. You got Jason Kelce and Herbig working together. You've got good movement. You've got defenders on the ground. Miles Sanders able to put his foot in the ground and get forward. Loved seeing this kind of movement from the Eagles offensive line in the run game. So talking a lot about the run game, I think a lot of coaches would say that an extension of the run game is the wide receiver screen game. The Eagles were able to hit two huge wide receiver screens in this game, both to rookies, one to Quez Watkins for a touchdown, another to Jalen Reagor on a big third down play. Let's take a look at how both plays came to be. The wide receiver screen game worked really well for the Eagles in this one. Here it is, 3rd and 20. First big one, Quez Watkins, jailbreak screen, where basically you're going to get a bunch of offensive linemen releasing to the left, trying to break him on a big run through the teeth of the defense. But you've got a lot of pursuit, a lot of red jerseys working that way. So Quez Watkins is going to spin out of this. This is a broken screen. He's just going to go to the sideline. His blocks aren't out there, but he's just going to rely on his speed to get down the sideline, get into the end zone. 32-yard touchdown on a second career touch. A little bit later in the game, this one 3rd and forever. This is 3rd and 29. This is what that screen's supposed to look like now, right? This is where the screen, you're able to get behind these blockers. Look at Jordan Mailata out in front for Jalen Reagor. Mailata, just a runaway train here, taking on not one but two blockers up in space. Jalen Reagor gets him within striking distance, and they are able to convert on the next fourth down. All right, let's shift gears now over to the Eagles defense. And we talked a little bit about the big uglies up front for the Eagles offensive line, but let's go over to the defensive line where I thought the D tackles, Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, Javon Hargrave, they were downright dominant in the desert in this game. Whether it was running game, pass game, it did not matter. These guys were making plays from sideline to sideline. They were getting into the backfield. They were disrupting the action. I was really impressed with that trio of players. Let's show you some good examples here. A lot of fun watching these guys play on Sunday. I thought the defensive tackles were awesome in this game. Watch Fletcher Cox, watch Javon Hargrave. You're going to see Cox here playing from the backside. That all started with Hargrave disrupting, forcing the running back to bounce by taking on the puller. You're going to see Malik Jackson here. Look at him jack up the left guard. He's able to get off the block, get into the backfield, make this play right at the line of scrimmage against Kenyon Drake. We'll take another one here. Both Malik Jackson and Fletcher Cox. Malik Jackson takes on the trap block. Fletcher Cox is there, forces a bad exchange, balls on the ground. That's all created from those defensive tackles. Watch Fletcher Cox here chasing from the backside. This could be a quick wide receiver screen. This is what you want it to look like. Look at the effort. Look at the motor from these guys. And it's not just Fletcher. You see a lot of the other defensive linemen following in pursuit. These guys are always going to the football. Watch Javon Hargrave here. Look at him change the line of scrimmage, cross the face of the blocker, make the play. Fletcher Cox in on the tackle as well on the play side. You look here again, Malik Jackson, a little bit of a bull rush here, puts his foot in the ground, chases the action here on the quick screen. Watch him chase these plays down the field, outside the numbers. Watch him finish at the ball. You see Derek Barnett in there as well. I just love this defensive line, the mentality that they play with. They are the engine for this defense. You see Malik Jackson again, field a screen pass, put his foot in the ground, make the play outside the numbers, diving to finish the play. We saw a couple of plays like this from Malik Jackson this game. The defensive line, really fun to watch, namely those defensive tackles. All right, let's transition now to the secondary where when you look at the safety position, no Rodney McLeod in this game, right, after he goes on injured reserve last week. So you get Jalen Mills, who stayed at safety. He did not move to corner for this game, but you get Marcus Epps and you get Kayvon Wallace. I thought all three guys made plays in coverage against a pass-happy Arizona offense. You got that big interception from Epps down in the red zone in the second half, but it was more than just that. Let's take a look at a couple of plays here from the DBs. Let's take a look here at the interception by Marcus Epps down in the red zone. And this is a really fun play because Arizona, Kyler Murray, he's trying to move Epps off his spot. He throws that little pump fake to the right, then pulls the trigger. You see the ball's coming out wobbly. I think it's because he realized last second, oh man, I shouldn't have thrown this pass. The safety did move off his spot. Awesome play there by Epps. A little bit later in the game, you're going to see Epps really kind of close the door down the seam in cover two. That's a weak spot in that coverage. He knows they're trying to attack it. Watch him close and finish. Perfectly clean hit on the tight end, down the middle of the seam. Love seeing him dislodge the ball at the catch point there to get the ball on the ground. But that wasn't the only play made in coverage by these Eagles safeties. We're going to see early on in this game. This is going to be first quarter. Watch Kayvon Wallace here playing as a safety. He comes from depth. He's going to be manned up one-on-one against the running back coming out of the backfield. That's where Kyler Murray's trying to go with this football. Watch Wallace as he's able to close in on the catch point. And again, get this ball on the ground, force the incompletion. Eagles get off the field on third down. Love seeing that from Wallace, who did a lot of man-to-man work during his days at Clemson, whether it was against receivers, tight ends, or running backs. Nice job, Wallace, there on that play. And then lastly, we'll go to the elder statesman in the group, and that's safety Jalen Mills. You see him here working in the middle of the field. He's working in zone coverage of the intermediate area. They've got a dig route running in his direction. Watch him jump this route. Does a great job of getting his hands through the catch point. Alex Singleton was moved off his spot in coverage. Mills overcomes it. Eagles get off the field on third down as Jalen Mills forces a punt there from the Cardinals. Really, all three safeties did a nice job overall in this game. And last but not least, we're going to take a look at the cornerback spot where Michael JACQUET made some plays in this game. A couple of turnovers, some forced fumbles. We'll take a look at exactly what he was able to do in this game. And the big one was on a blitz off the edge. We'll break that play down first, then go to his forced fumble on the opening drive. Let's take a look at the two biggest plays of the game from Michael JACQUET, the rookie corner. You're going to see him here at the top of the screen coming on a corner blitz. Same blitz the Eagles ran on Duke Riley's interception last week where both defensive tackles drop out. You got two DBs coming off the edge. That's going to keep Kyler Murray in the pocket. Not only does JACQUET get home for the sack, but he also strips the ball, gets it on the ground, gets a turnover for the Eagles in plus territory. That's what you're looking for from a blitzer on that play, is not only make the play in the backfield for the sack, but then also get the turnover on top as a cherry on top. top for the Eagles defense. Love seeing that from JACQUET on this play. And again, the underneath zone defenders, those defensive tackles dropping out, that caused a little bit of confusion. You get the DBs there to finish things off, get the quarterback to the ground, and get the turnover. And that wasn't the only big play for Michael JACQUET. He also had a forced fumble in the opening drive down in the red zone. They're just playing basic cover 3 against a curl flat concept, and he's got DeAndre Hopkins stopping right in front of him. He's going to close on this football, get the ball on the ground. Nice turnover there, again, by Michael JACQUET, using his length to get the ball on the ground. Great job there. Now, it wasn't always perfect. He gave up some catches. He got beaten off the line a few times in press coverage, but just love the competitiveness from start to finish from Michael JACQUET in this game. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but we saw some good flashes from a young, undrafted rookie free agent corner. So obviously a loss for the Eagles in this game, but there was plenty to break down. Hope you guys enjoyed a look inside the film at some of the biggest plays from Sunday's game. The Eagles have 2 big games left. They've got to win out to get the division. First up this week against Dallas, then wrapping things up against Washington in Week 17. We will continue breaking these games down right here on the Eagle Eye in the Sky. Make sure you go check out the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast. Myself, Greg Cosell, Ben Fennell, wherever podcasts can be found. You can also check out the Journey to the Draft podcast wherever podcasts can be found as we get into the offseason. You may want to make sure you're tuned into that podcast each and every week. All right, thanks so much for joining us here on the Eagle Eye in the Sky film breakdown. We'll talk to you next week.